Hi guys, if you can hear loads of noise, I'll have to apologise because this is the only time today on Saturday that I have time to record this video, and there are some kind of building works going on outside. My husband's doing the washing up with some really loud, shouty, metal style horrific music on, so it's just one of those days, you know, just trying to fit things in. So, I'm going to start with a new one. I've already packed away the box of this, so I can't show you, but I got this from Valentino because it was, I think, £16 when I bought it. It's gone back up now, but you can find it. I think you can get this on Amazon UK as well, but I've been looking at this one for ages, and I saw a YouTuber, she's called Cassandra, and I can't remember the name of her channel, but anyway, she's been talking about this one a lot, and it's been in my wish list for about a year, because I've been interested in just smelling it, and just getting one of these. So this is Korres, I think. I think they're a Greek company that do maybe, I think it's like beauty, that kind of thing, but they have a range of perfumes, and I absolutely love these kind of old school amber coloured bottles. I really want to try the Bellflower one, so it's been the Black Sugar and Bellflower are the ones that I've been interested in. So gorgeous. I love the simplicity, but so beautiful. And they also have the notes on them, which is wonderful. So Black Sugar, Cassandra's been talking about this a lot. She's been comparing it to Prada Candy, which is something I haven't smelt since it first came out, so I don't have any memory of that. I know it's sweet and powdery, but this one, I mean, sweet and powdery, probably quite accurate. If I read, I might as well read it off here. So this is top notes of Oriental Lily, Caramel, Heliotrope, heart notes Rose, Black Sugar, Brazilian Rosewood, Amber, Vanilla Bean and Tonka Bean. Now, this one, when it says caramel, if I just spray this onto my... When it says caramel, it's not like a creamy caramel. This is like the kind of caramel you make to make spun sugar. You know, when you literally cook down sugar so it's this colour and you don't put cream or anything in it. It's that kind of smell. And actually what I'd say is that this kind of gives me the vibes that I was expecting, but a slightly more caramelised version of Vanilla 28 by Kayali, because that one, it's got patchouli and it's got all these things in it that make it smell quite perfumey to me, and I hate the patchouli in that one. But when it first gets sprayed out, it's really pretty, kind of sheer. This is also pretty and sheer. It's not the longest lasting, but obviously I've only just got this and it's quite cold weather, so I don't really know how it will compare to the rest of the year. But it's very sweet, it's slightly powdery. I can really smell the heliotrope, but it's not worrying, and the kind of brown sugar vibe, it doesn't necessarily smell like brown sugar to me, it smells like cooked sugar. And on the box there's a picture of kind of melted sugar when it started to go brown inside a metal pan, and that's what this smells like to me. It's definitely got a bit of amber in it. I'm not sure what it means by oriental notes, but I don't find it massively spicy. It's super easy reach, really pretty, very sweet, and it's just a really pretty perfume. But like I said, it's very light, it's very sheer. I mean, it smells relatively strong on when you first spray it, but it's not the longest lasting, it's not the strongest, but I think it's really pretty. It's kind of in that kind of Acqua Colonia range of vibe, even though, what does it say? It says it's an eau de toilette, but yeah, it's super pretty. I really enjoyed wearing it. I loved it. When I first sprayed it, I was like, oh, I'm really glad I made this decision. It's delicious. So yeah, that's actually a lovely one. And I'd highly recommend it if you can get it for a good price. I think normally for a 50ml, I think this is a 50ml, they're normally like £40 maybe on the actual site. But you can get these for much cheaper than that. On Amazon it's 25. I think it's 25 again on Notino, but like I said, I got it on a deal, so I got it for 16. Worth keeping an eye out. I think this is a really nice, simple, sweet, slightly caramelly perfume. But like I said, not thick, not creamy. It's quite light wearing, so it's quite approachable. So another light wearing one I wore. Okay, I'm going to spray this out on my other sleeve. My knitwear is going to smell crazy. Ooh. Oh, I forgot to give you the weather forecast. It's been grey. I mean, it's just been a bit grey. We're starting to get slightly lighter evenings, so that's good. So this is Mon Petit, and this is the eau de toilette version, not the alcohol-free one that's designed for children. So this is Lolita Lempicka. Super cute. Just trying to position it. There we go. Bit wonky, but... So I was testing this one out because I wanted to decide whether I wanted to keep this or not, just because it does have a slight lotion-y vibe to it. But I feel like this one doesn't push so far into lotion that it makes me uncomfortable. I quite enjoyed wearing it. It's, again, very light. It's designed for kids, basically. In the UK, it's not really normal to spray perfume on children. Like, I don't think we really have children's perfumes over here, but I know that in a lot of other countries, that's kind of a thing. But yeah, I mean, they have a alcohol-free version of this if you were interested in, like, if you've got, like, a little kid that wants to wear perfume and you don't want to put anything dangerous on, this is the kind of thing to go for. You can get these directly from Lolita Lempicka's website, but it's kind of pricey to get it shipped over to the UK or outside of Europe. But I got this from My Origins, I think. And you can get samples from Lolita Lempicka of both. Actually, I think you can only get the other version of this. And I do have a sample. They pretty much smell the same. This one is just slightly stronger. So, the notes in this are anise and marshmallow in the top. The middle notes are freesia, orange blossom and linden blossom. And the base notes are white musk and confetti, so like sugared almonds. So this is sweet, but it's not like marshmallow and sugared almonds aren't the main thing here. It's really equally balanced with the florals, and it's very musky. So it has got a slight bar soap texture, and it's kind of slightly more bar soap, not at all shampoo-y, but just with like one toe into the body lotion, some kind of smell. I get a lot of linden blossom with this. I have another perfume with linden blossom that actually really reminds me of this in a much more green and floral way. So that is Oscar de la Renta. Is it called? Oh, something blue. That's the wedding perfume. And that one, in the dry down of that, you get a bit more vanilla, and then you've got loads of linden blossom. It's floral, but in the top, it's like super green and grassy, very fresh. This one is softer, fluffier. Yeah, but like I said, I mean, I'd say the sugared almonds are much more noticeable to me than the marshmallow here. I don't get a massive amount of anise. It's just a really pretty, I mean, it smells like you just got out of a creamy bath. That's what this smells like. So it's really good for that kind of thing. I really love the bottle. So this is staying with me. Whether I'll still have it in like 5 years' time, we'll see. But I do think it's really, really nice. Okay, I'm going to do what will fit on here. I'm just seeing how much room I've got. Let me just see. Ooh, okay. Let's put this one down here. This is Wild Musk from Coty, and this is the vintage version. Oh God. Oh, I love this perfume. I wish it was filled all the way to the top. Sadly not. Absolutely gorgeous. It's just so gorgeous. Now, I sprayed this one on my skin, and I was comparing it with the other one I've got, which is the current formulation. Current formulation is even weaker than this. It has like a ghost of the Wild Musk smell, but I think that one I will just use to like spray on my clothes and stuff. I don't think there's any use in spraying on your skin. It kind of disappears almost immediately, on mine anyway. But I think you do get a bit of a hint of the Wild Musk smell if you spray it on fabric. So I actually ended up putting some of that on top of my clothes when I was wearing this one on my skin. But yeah, a bit of Coty Wild Musk. This is the thing I used to wear when I was literally like about 13. I loved this perfume. I wish that I could get a strong version of this, and I have been trying out some other things that are compared to it, but I haven't found anything that quite smells like it yet. You get a bit of this vibe from Missing Persons by Fleur, but it's not sexy the way that this is. And I don't know why this one's so sexy, but it's so sexy. As soon as I put it on, I felt super sexy. So, I mean, I don't know why. There's something very, very sexy about it. It's beautiful. So they only give you one for Fragrantica Musk, Vanilla, Rose and Jasmine, and I can't really find much else about this perfume. It's just a classic, and it's a tragedy that Coty have ruined it. But I am trying as like lots of musks, I'm going to do a series of musk videos. So I'm hoping I'll find like my favourite equivalent. But currently, the thing I think that smells closest to this by far is Skin Musk. Like, it's exactly the same style of musk, but there's just something about this one that's a bit more sexy. And I don't think it's because it's like more animalic or whatever. I think it maybe just isn't quite so clean and soapy. And it is a little bit more, I don't know, it's just, I cannot put my finger on what it is in this. I think it's just got a very similar musk, but just a bit more sexy. And I don't really know what makes that musk sexy. They're equally kind of as warm. I think Skin Musk maybe is a slightly more vanillic, slightly more soapy. So maybe it's just that Skin Musk smells a slight bit cleaner to me. But it's the closest thing yet that I've found. But anyway, all right, what's next? Let's do... Let's put this one up there. So, yeah, I was just having like a kind of clean thing. So you'll notice there's a few soapy and a few musky perfumes here. I was having like musky or clean vibes at the beginning of the week. Yep, so just on one of my clean vibe days, I wore Cotton and Almond from Acqua Colonia. Sadly, also something that I can't get anymore and you can't buy because this was a limited edition. This is quite an old bottle. This just lists almond milk, heliotrope and cotton flower, but there's something fruity in this, I swear. There's like a juiciness going on here as well. It's really nice to wear. It's very yummy. I mean, I'm just trying to think what it smells like. It does smell like clean, fresh cotton. It does. And I'm not sure that almond milk... almond milk, heliotrope and cotton flower. Maybe, yeah. I do get heliotrope, absolutely. It's not lotiony, though. It's, like, watery. It's fresh and, like, again, quite transparent. I think the almond milk just kind of sweetens it up a little bit. So the thing I would advise to try, that it doesn't smell the same, but it gives me very much the same kind of vibe when I'm wearing it. It's, like, I could pick between them for a certain type of vibe, is Born Lovely by Sarah Jessica Parker. That one is blackcurrant and peony, but there's caramel in the base of that one, and somehow it just smells like clean, fresh cotton. It smells like washing. It smells like laundry, clean laundry, but wet, clean laundry, and that's the vibe I get from this. It smells like it's still wet. It doesn't smell fluffy and a kind of out of the tumble dryer vibe. It smells wet and watery and transparent and fresh. But yeah, so it's a bit of a shame you can't get this one anymore, but to be honest, I think I prefer Born Lovely. I like both of them, but Born Lovely, and particularly Born Lovely, if you can get the body spray, I think it's equally as good as I think it's called Eau de Parfum, but performs very much like an Eau de Toilette. Because it's slightly less woody and there's a bit of patchouli in the original, that you can only just get a slight hint of something woody and earthy in the base of it. But you don't get that as much in the body spray, and the body spray is like amazing. I got that free with it and I just really love that one. I take that with me places sometimes. Okay, and then, this is such a beaut. So, like I said, I was on a musky tip, so I wore Jovan Musk, and this is Jovan Musk Oil, if you can see. Musk Oil. And this is the Eau de Toilette. You can get an Eau de Parfum of the Musk Oil spray. I have the Musk Oil too. That one is a bit more sexy. That one's a bit deeper, stronger. I just wanted something light. This one has a fruitiness to it, which is really lovely. And it's the one with the gold lid, you know. So, my phone's popping off. Sorry if you could hear that. Okay, so Jovan, let me just put it here for now. So the Musk Oil, I looked all over the internet to try and find notes for this, because the Eau de Cologne, the Jovan that's Jovan Musk for women, that has the orange cap, it smells slightly different to me. So I used to have both, and I ended up decluttering the orange cap version because I didn't like it as much as this version. And after doing some research, I found two different sets of notes, one for the perfume, for the Musk Oil, and one for the musk with the orange cap. So this one, the gold topped Jovan Musk Oil sprays and oil, The list is aniseed, bergamot and peach. The heart notes are cocoa butter, lavender and ylang ylang. The base notes are musk, patchouli, vetiver and vanilla. So this makes sense to me because definitely ylang ylang, definitely bergamot, and the peach comes across to me as orange in this, and then very, very musky. This one, I think maybe slightly less sexy than the other version, but it is, it's less soapy, it's not quite as harsh, but it's like fresher, it's juicier, it's easier to wear. It smells slightly more modern, and it's just, I mean, it's a negligible difference. You can tell they're both Jovan Musks, but this one is very approachable, really easy to wear. It's not the longest lasting. At some point, if I can get my hands on the same size bottle as but this in eau de parfum form, I'll give that a go. It's not necessarily the easiest to find, but I will give it a go. I'm just going to see if I can make sure that that's in focus. So, because the original, it lists, the original, the orange capped version, the notes I found were musk, jasmine, neroli and bergamot, and then spice and lavender, and then the base note sandalwood, tonka beans. So that kind of makes sense to me because I feel like neroli is always kind of a slightly harsher, and jasmine as well, a slightly harsher and more soapy floral than ylang ylang. Ylang's kind of creamier. It's got a kind of fruity vibe to it, you know. It's like got a different, more tropical feel, and that's how I feel about this one. I think it's absolutely scrumptious. I loved wearing it. It was so fun. And it's one that, you know, it builds up and builds up and builds up. So like if you spray too much of that on, it's going to be too much. It's going to be way too much. But if you just like put one layer on, it's a really gentle, beautiful, warm skin scent. Just lovely. So that's a little Jovan Musk Oil. Let's put it next to the other musk. Okay. I wore this because I've been waiting for cold weather and my mood to turn to soapy perfumes. Oh gosh, what an absolute winner. I can't believe that I was thinking I might get rid of this when I first got it, and then it grew on me so much. That sometimes happens with like soapy perfumes. So this is Amethyst by Lalique. I've got a little dent in this one nowadays, but just a little one. Beautiful, gorgeous bottle. Yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. So it kind of smells, does it smell like the bottle? I'm not sure it smells quite as dark as the bottle might suggest. I always have to twist this so it doesn't blind you guys. There we go. Because it's very juicy, but it's also very soapy, woody, quite green. I swear this smells like there's basil in it. When I first got it, I was like, there's something herbal, maybe a bit of rosemary, but definitely there is something in this that smells like basil to me. And I love that about it because I love a basil note. I love it. So top notes here are blackcurrant, blackberry, blueberry, mulberry and big strawberry. This is according to Fragrantica. Middle notes, black pepper, peony, rose and ylang ylang. Base notes, musk, woodsy notes and bourbon vanilla. You don't get much vanilla here. It just stops it being like screechy, because I found the Acqua version of this very screechy and like I couldn't wear it. It smelled like shampoo to me. This one smells more like a bar soap. The musk in it, I imagine mixed with that ylang ylang, is super creamy. Like it's not in like an edible way, but in a bar soap style way. And then you've got some florals that keep it a little bit brighter, but then you've got those dark berries. And it's just, it smells like sharp berries on the bush, still with the twigs, still with the leaves, in like a dark wood. You know what I mean? It's like just so pretty. But yeah, that was definitely a grower. It wasn't one that I liked when I first got it at all. I was a bit like, yeah, because everyone said it was sexy, and at the time I was like, well, how is this sexy? It just smells super soapy. And then I think my husband actually thought this was quite sexy, and I was like, oh, I guess men just like soapy perfumes. Maybe they just like women who smell super clean, like dark but clean. I don't know. Who even knows? And then I did another soapy. So this is in its box, so you'll know that that means that I'm going to be getting rid of this one. This is Miami Glow by JLo. The thing is, I'm upset about this because, well, for one thing, I love this bottle, although I don't love this thing on it. I I was storing this without them on, but if I'm going to sell them, I'd need to put this little charm thing back on, but it does click around and make noise. I love this bottle, though. I love the glow bottles. I love the shape of them, even if the lids are horrible. Oh, man. You see, the thing is with this, I really like the smell of it, but there's something in it that makes it really difficult for me to wear. I'm not sure. I feel like there's something in it that moves in towards the shampoo realm, and I think that's what the problem is. And I find shampoo perfumes to be screechy and uncomfortable to wear. But it's really, genuinely, I'm not just saying this, I really like how this smells, and I think I would love it on other people, but I just cannot wear it myself. Because it's got too much of that shampoo vibe. But it's almost like a shampoo and a bar soap in one perfume. So, lovely bottle. I'm really sad to get rid of this bottle, genuinely. The only glow that I'm keeping is the Love at First Glow in the tiny pink bottle. And sadly, you can't get big versions of that. Because the little bottles, they're cute, but they're not as cool as these big ones. But anyway. So, the notes in this are passion fruit, coconut milk and pink grapefruit. In the top, the middle is orange blossom, cyclamen and heliotrope, and the base is vanilla, musk and amber. I don't know if it's the orange blossom that's causing me the problem here, because I am very fussy and I do find orange blossom very soapy and often a bit screechy. And even though there's a definite sweetness in I sort of don't want to get rid of it. And when I first spray it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. And then throughout the day, I'll get increasingly uncomfortable and I won't necessarily want to top it up. And that tends to mean that I'm just not going to reach for it, so I don't need it. But it's so fresh and clean and so pretty. But me and shampoo-y perfumes, man, it's the same with like super lotiony perfumes. I just can't comfortably wear them. There's just something in there that I find really irritating, but I do think it's beautiful and it lasts forever. Like, I think this is probably designed to wear in summer weather, but as with this, I like bar soapy perfumes in winter often, because they're like a really good alternative to the clean perfumes I wear in summer, which tend to be a bit more transparent, maybe a bit more fruity, lighter, but both of these last all day. I mean, I do tend to top them up a tiny bit just because I do like the top notes, but they are both long-lasting and quite strong. The scent bubble around this, even in cold weather, was crazy. Like, it's so pretty. Yeah, I'm annoyed, but it did irritate me, so there's just no point. I've got such a big collection, there's no point in me keeping it. So, yeah, that was a bit of a bummer. Now, other things I wore were little samples, 2 of which are new, 1 of which I got in Selfridges, but I didn't mention it last time because I actually wanted to wear it, give it a go. So this, I've already seen this actually. I've seen like 3 YouTubers I follow popping up with this one, so it's obviously doing the rounds. But I smelt it in store and they gave me, excuse me, they gave me a carded sample to take away with me, because the lady she didn't have any cards, so she sprayed it on some tissue for me, which obviously that's not going to last. I can't take it home with me, so she gave me a sample, which is pretty cool. So this is Valentino Donna Born in Roma Green Stravaganza. Quite a cool bottle. Again, these are quite expensive. So I wore this during the daytime and I regretted spraying this on. Yeah, so what this says, let me see, what does it say on here? A floral, ambery, woody fragrance created by the extravagant blends of sensual lapsang souchanté, opulent jasmine absolute. So they're not giving you much here. It says floral and ambery, but the only things listed are lapsang souchan, jasmine and vanilla. And okay, so here's the thing. This has whatever it is in perfumes that smells exceptionally piercing to me. So it's the same as, what's it been like? I found it in Idol, I get it in Wanted Girl, I get it in Dior Poison Girl. And there was something else recently that I smelt it in that was just like a serious knife through the brain. It, like, you know, sometimes when you get a piercing headache and it feels like something like a pin's going into your eye, That's what it is with something that's in some modern perfumes. I don't think it's ambroxan, because ambroxan smells sharp to me, but it doesn't feel like I'm getting stabbed behind the eyes with it. This has something in it that is so acidic to me, like horribly acidic and sharp, really piercing. And I don't think other people are smelling that, so I think it is an aroma chemical that's just not listed, and I don't really know what it is. But if you watch me, you know I'm really sensitive to quite a lot of aroma chemicals. I think Ice 3 Super is the only one that I know of that doesn't really bother me. Anyway, when I first sprayed it, when I smelled it in store, my thought was, it smells like a boiled sweet. So it smells like a kind of citrusy, but slightly generic, general boiled sweet, like Jolly Rancher, hard candy, I think they call them in other parts of the world. But for us, it would be, you know, do we even get boiled sweets over here anymore? I mean, I'm talking like the glacier mints, but when they used to do glacier fruits, you know, that kind of smell, if you had a green one. So it's got a general fruitiness to it, which isn't just citrusy, maybe like citrus, peary, apple, that kind of thing. So it's got a sharp but very sugary smell to it. I don't get tea from this at all, and I think, again, that's probably the aroma chemicals. It definitely doesn't have a Lapsang Souchong vibe to it, which I believe to be like a more smoky kind of tea. It's one of the few teas I don't actually have in my house, but yeah, I don't get anything massively tea-like from this. I don't get a huge amount of vanilla from it. It was just relentlessly screechy on me. Yeah, so it's one of those ones I'd probably really like if it didn't have that. The thing that it made me think of the most, not because it massively smells like it, but it's the same vibe I got from the Kayali Eden Sparkling Lychee, which is that smells like a boiled sweet to me. And then it dries down and there's quite a lot of vanilla going on, but it kind of smells like sweets. And this is that same kind of vibe, but I definitely don't get the same kind of vanilla in this that I do in the dry down of the other one. And you'd be like, well, this might be a green boiled sweet, and Kayali is like a pink boiled sweet or whatever, but it has that same kind of vibe. But the Kayali, I don't think, it doesn't have the screechy aroma chemical in that I think is in this one. This one is compared to, by a fair few votes, to the Valentino Donna Rosa Verde, which is the one I think that came out similar to the Donna Acqua bottle, you know, the tall and thin one without the spikes round. So I wonder if they've just rehoused it. It would be wonderful if the next step is for them to bring out the Donna Acqua in one of the Born in Roma bottles, because I hope you guys have the opportunity to actually wear that one, because I think it's actually lovely. I love that perfume. But no, it's still the only Valentino I like. I've smelt lots now and I don't really... I smelt the pink pee-pee one as well. Anyway, I'm a child and that will always make me laugh, saying pink pee-pee. That one, it was very faint. It was really hard to smell. I mean, like I said, it was tissue paper, but it smelled kind of pretty. But they didn't have any samples of that, so I couldn't take that one away, and I couldn't take it away on card, and I was already wearing a perfume, so I didn't spray it on me. I know that one's limited edition, but I thought that one smelled kind of pretty. But within Selfridges, with all the perfumes being sprayed, it's, you know, I like to try and take things away with me, but yeah, so I'm not really sure about that one. So I also got a little sample of the Black Opium Le Parfum. I've wanted to smell this one for ages, so let's have a look. What does it say in here? It says, Black Opium Le Parfum is an unexpected high rush exalted with a quartet of vanillas. Its iconic coffee accord associated with white flowers amplifies an ultra sensual and audacious femininity. Oh, for God's sake. This new creation transforms the original signature into the ultimate pleasure. Okay. And then it says coffee accord, white flowers, quartet of vanillas. It says the most intense and radical olfactive interpretation of Black Opium. I mean, I'm sorry to swear, guys, but bollocks. Absolute bollocks. This is not a strong perfume. It is not intense. It is quite light, pretty, again, slightly transparent. It's not strong. It's not radical. it's not intense. Like, that's outrageous. Like, I've got a couple of other samples of Black Opium, and this is in no way more intense than any of them. It's not more intense with the Black Opium profile. It's got slightly less of that, although it is still there. So yeah, so I wore this one for date night, and I didn't really get any comments about this one. It's got the floral still for sure, and it's got the Black Opium vibe for sure. But it's very pretty. It is really nice. I understand why people like this one. I wouldn't want a bottle of it personally, and that's due to the jasmine and orange blossom still being very obvious in this. But so the notes listed on Fragrantica are cinnamon, pear, mandarin orange. Middle notes are solar notes, jasmine, sambac, orange blossom. Base notes are Madagascar vanilla, bourbon vanilla, vanilla absolute, coffee, vanilla orchid, and patchouli. So I don't think the patchouli is massively strong. I think the vanilla is quite strong here. It's got a real juicy pear when you first spray it. And what this made me think of at first, for sure, is Burberry Goddess. Like, I don't think they smell exactly the same, but I think Burberry Goddess, like when I first smelt it, and now, and still, it smells juicy to me. It smells like there's fruit in it. And I think I said it smells like pear. I think that's why so many people compare it to Burberry Brit, because that is a very vanillic dry down, but it has like the juicy pear in the top. That one obviously has lime, so it's far sharper. But Burberry Goddess, I would not be surprised if it has pear in the top. And I think it really shares that kind of juicy, fruity, mouth-watering kind of slight wateriness of like an actual fruit juice in the top, with a slight... So Burberry Goddess obviously has the spice from what's it called, from ginger, and this has the coffee, which leans to a slight kind of smoky, spicy smell, and then there's just a ton of vanilla. I prefer the vanilla in Goddess just because it's not bourbon vanilla, and I'm not mad for a boozy vanilla or like a bourbon vanilla. But this is super pretty. I think it's really nice. It definitely gets a bit more soapy and floral in the deep dry down to me. But that's also obviously when the fruits have kind of died down, and it's very vanillic. So it's like, yeah, it's really pretty. I understand why people like it. It's not one that I would need in my collection, but I do think it's pretty. So yeah, I kind of get why people have been pretty into that. Yeah, I mean, is it worth the money? It's a lovely bottle. I really like all of the Black Opium bottles and the original Opium bottles. I think they're really pretty, but yeah, it's not one I feel like I would need, and I prefer Burberry Goddess, but I think in terms of wearing it, maybe not in the very deep dry down, but like just generally, this really did make me feel similar to when I first spray on Burberry Goddess. So I think that's a nice one. I get it. I do get it. Now then, I've got two more samples which are just from my collection that I just wanted to wear. I wore one of these to work. I've had this one for so long. I got it, I can't remember if I got it free or if I actually got this from Fragrance X or something. I just like needed to get free shipping. This is Dolce & Gabbana La Temperance, number 14. You can't really... Oh, there we go. So this one I've had for ages, and I was just like, oh, it's time to wear it. I was fancying an iris perfume, which is what this is. So La Temperance, sadly, very sadly actually, is discontinued. You can still get them for not ridiculous prices most of the time on like eBay and stuff. Occasionally they pop up. It's easy to get samples though, so and that might be what I do. I might just get a few samples of this, because it's not obviously not one I'm going to wear all the time. I've got millions of perfumes, but the notes here are top notes of ambrette, pink pepper, middle notes of iris, orris, rose and hibiscus, base notes, oriental notes, musk and patchouli. It's so pretty. This is a really nice, like, I mean, it smells quite strong at first, but it's quite light. I mean, I think the temperance means like to resist, or like to, I can't even remember the actual definition of it, but I think it means to like take it easy, really, in moderation, you know what I mean? So this is that kind of scent. It's very irisy. That's like the main thing, but it's also musky, and it's got really nice oriental notes in this that make it kind of warm, because I find iris and orris to be quite cool cool notes, you know, like I wouldn't be surprised if like they're normally like blue or purple. That's the vibe that they give to me. But this one, because it has that oriental spice in it, warms it up massively. And it does it. What it reminds me of, this one, is I think I actually might like it slightly better, to be honest, is my Victoria Minya Hedonist Iris. That one is a bit colder, but it has cocoa in it. So that's like an iris, beautiful iris perfume with cocoa in the base that kind of gives it just that slight warmth. And that's more like a grey colour to me, you know, it's like a silvery grey rather than purple, because it's not full like cold. But this one definitely has a warmer tone. It's really pretty. It's quite sweet. It's a bit of a classic, so it does smell a bit perfumey. It's not like gourmand. It's quite irisy, floral, pretty. I really enjoyed wearing this. It was a really fun day wearing this. I thought it was lush. So yeah, I really, really liked that one, and I think I'll probably just try and get a couple more of these little testers. And that will do me fine, rather than spending like 40 quid buying a bottle of it, because it will take me forever to get through it because I have so many perfumes. Okay, and then the last thing I wore was, this was just a little evening wear. This is Jimmy Choo Illicit. This is the original Illicit. Had this one for ages, but I was thinking of it again because I was watching Paolo Bianca, and this is one of her faves. It's one of her comfort scents. So I thought I'm just going to try that one out again, because, you know, it's been maturing, I would say, in my drawer I've had it for maybe like a year and a half or something. So it's really pretty. I totally understand. There's quite a lot of slightly pencil shaving-y wood in this, and that's what I thought when I first bought it, and I was like, it's pretty, I get it, it's cozy, but I thought the wood was maybe a bit overpowering. But it has matured, and it is now a little bit stronger in the sweet caramelly notes. So it almost smells a little bit more gourmand to me than it used to. So the notes in this are top notes of ginger, bitter orange, middle notes of jasmine, sambac, orange blossom and rose, base notes honey, amber, caramel, vanilla and sandalwood and cashmere wood. I get a lot of cashmere wood. I get a bit of, definitely get some bitter orange, definitely get some orange blossom and a bit of jasmine, definitely get vanilla, honey. There's a lot of honey, amber and caramel. Yeah, I mean, I can smell, I think apart from the rose, which I don't really get a huge amount of, and definitely the sandalwood is totally choked out by the cashmere wood here. I think I get all of these notes. And I think it's more honey than caramel. I think caramel is kind of second to honey here. Honey's strong and it's very sweet. It's very pretty. And I was like, this was a really good alternative to what's it? The Poison Girl Unexpected and the Poison Girl range, because it doesn't have whatever it is in those perfumes that is like piercing, like I said earlier, like a piercing quality to me in those. And I really love Poison Girl Unexpected most out of those. It does still have something in it that's a bit weird and piercing, but it doesn't have that what's that kind of Poison Girl vibe? What am I like that root beer smell? It doesn't have that kind of smell in it, which I find is in all of those perfumes. It's really kind of not much of that. And it's gingery and it's fresh and it's pretty, but it lasts for like 2 seconds, like genuinely. Whereas Illicit lasts way longer than that. Like now it's actually matured a little bit. It actually lasts on me quite a long time, and I could really smell it. It was quite strong. But what I did think is it smells like a gourmand version of something I already own. So I was kind of thinking about it for a while, and I was like, what is it? What is it? And then I realised it kind of reminds me a little bit of Obsession Night. So that one shares some of the same notes. So it's got the same bitter orange, it's got the same jasmine, it's got other white flowers as well, probably includes orange blossom to be honest. It's got vanilla, sandalwood, amber, cashmere wood, it's got rose. So it's got a lot of the same notes. It just doesn't have the ginger and the caramel and honey. So I feel like those notes make Illicit quite gourmand. Whereas Obsession Night, it's still quite sweet. It's a bit more it's like vanillic sweet in the dry down, but it's woody, floral, and it's got a beautiful bitter orange. There's quite a lot of Angelica in that one, which takes it in a very slight different direction. But it really reminded me of wearing it, so I was like, okay, I really love the Illicit bottles, but I definitely don't need it, because I have other gourmands I can wear, other things that I can wear if I want to. And if I want that general kind of cozy cashmere wood, bitter orange, sweet vibe, flowery sweet vibe, then I can get that by wearing Obsession Night. So it's prevented me from buying a bottle of Illicit, which is good because I don't need another bottle. But it's very nice, and I would highly recommend it. I think especially if you can like either maybe wear it in warmer weather and then let it develop, and then it will be really good for winter, well, after you've had it for a while, or just kind of spray it out, let the air hit it, and then let it develop a little bit, because I definitely think that the honey and caramel has got really strong in this since I first got it, and it's super pretty, really pretty. Yeah, I don't think I didn't have anything except for the Born in Roma Green Stravaganza, which just straight up was like, ooh, screechy. If it didn't have that aroma chemical in it, I would think it was quite a pretty perfume. So it's very much an aroma chemical problem and not actual the general profile of that's an issue for me. But everything else I wore this week, I would highly recommend. I think they're all really nice. Even though I'm decluttering this beauty, even this, if you like shampoo-y perfumes and you want something strong that will last all day and has a slightly tropical vibe to it, JLo Miami Glow is absolutely beautiful, and I really like it, and I'm annoyed that this doesn't work for me because I think it's a pretty perfume. And everything else, I mean, Wild Musk only, I mean, it's probably not worth getting the version they've currently got, but if you do for a good price, see an old bottle like this with this different, because I think now it just has a little sticker on it and it's got a brown cap. So yeah, if you see those, avoid them. But if you see one that's got this kind of writing on it, then yeah, I mean, it's worth it because it's beautiful. But yeah, everything else was a success this week. I had a good week. What's coming up? Oh yes, come back on Wednesday. It's my second part of my unusual vanillas. That one had to wait until after Frugal January. So that one's on. And then my husband and I recorded our next video with each other, which is my winter perfumes, and I'm putting that up because Valentine's Day this year falls on a Wednesday, so that'll be my Wednesday video on Valentine's Day. Let me know what you guys have been wearing. I don't think I've got anything else to let you know. I think it's been just a pretty chill week, to be honest. But yeah, let me know if you've got any of these, how you feel. Let me know if you smelt the green Stravaganza, because I can see that it's probably quite pretty. I mean, it's nothing special for how much it cost, if you know what I mean. But it's a cool bottle. I think I'd probably think it was quite nice if it didn't have that screechy thing in it, but you know, that's aroma chemicals. They are taking over the world. All right, guys. See ya.